Hey, welcome to Wise Up, a walk through the book of Proverbs. Today is day 27, so we are in Proverbs chapter 27. I'm so excited you've been hanging in for this, and if you're new, I want to encourage you to get as much out of this study as you can. Wise Up is just about seeking what God wants us to know about wisdom. And so we've defined wisdom as the appropriate application of information. Now, everybody has information. Everybody has the capacity to receive more knowledge. Everybody has the chance for polishing and sharpening in their life. But a wise person learns how to appropriately apply the information that they have. Not just to randomly apply it, because plenty of people have information, but they don't apply it appropriately. The average person lives on over 100% of their income in the United States. I read recently something like 118% is what the average consumer lives on. So that means they're living off of the totality of what they have now, but then borrowing against the future or hedging their bets against the future. Now, if that's the average, what's the extreme? Goodness, that's a lot. So there's a lot of people that have financial information, but they're not necessarily applying it to their life appropriately. And so I want to encourage all of us to wise up and to apply those things well. Now, Proverbs 27 verse 1 says, "Don't brag about tomorrow, since you don't know what the day will bring." Don't brag about tomorrow. Now, do we look forward to tomorrow? Sure we do. We get excited about the future and about what's coming next. What Solomon is saying here is not, don't ever think about tomorrow, only be one-sided, only be about today. There's a mindset of YOLO that kind of made the rounds a few years ago. You only live once. And, you know, I get that. Yeah, you do only live once, but that means that we want to be wise about what we do with the time that we're given. And so YOLO is not a mantra to just say, hey, you know, be frivolous or do whatever you want to do. Now, I had a dear friend in recent history who lived by that motto, and he and I have been really tight for years and years, and he made a series of decisions that ultimately led to the end of his life. And so I loved him very much as a great friend, but he kind of lived with this sort of like, hey, you know, all I've got is today. And so we don't want to do that. We want to consider tomorrow and consider the longevity of all the decisions that we make, but we don't brag about tomorrow. We're not like, hey, I got this coming, I got that, because we really don't know what's going to come in another day. A wise person says, I know what I have right now, and I know where I'd like to go in the future, and that's good for me, and I'm going to surrender and take step by step by step to get there and move forward. Now, verse 19 says, as a face is reflected in water, so the heart reflects the person. So as a face is reflected in water, so the heart reflects the person. When people begin to look at your heart and see what's on the inside, and for all of us, if we take a good inventory or a healthy self-assessment, which there's an unhealthy self-assessment, but if we take a healthy self-assessment and begin to look at our hearts, it says a whole lot about us. And it's really important that we keep that in check. So just like water shows what your face is really doing, or a mirror shows what's really going on with your face, you know, maybe this lovely, rugged, masculine face right here. I imagine you're laughing, and I wish you wouldn't laugh too much. Just kidding. But just as a mirror reflects what's going on here, the heart really shows what's going on with a person. And so verse 20 says, just as death and destruction are never satisfied, so human desire is never satisfied. I heard somebody say one time that all of us are driven by appetites, and the appetite for acceptance, the appetite for love, the appetite for food, the appetite for rest, the appetite for satisfaction. And what they said is the problem with appetites is that appetites on their own are never fully or finally satisfied. They always want more. And for all of us, we can all get into a place where we become so consumed by appetites that within parameters might be healthy, but when turned loose, all they want is more. I'm so excited that you're here. Let's continue to lean in, chase after God's heart, and wise up together.